Alright, fire it up. Just do your thing here, bud. Nobody's any better at this than you are.
That's fine. Take a deep breath.
Give them hell at the end. Good luck to you.
Fight like hell like we do every week. You are the best here.
Brett, be affirmative. You told me to get on. Info.
Ready. Ready. Go slow. Green, green, green. Lock it down, lock it down.
I'm destroyed, and I just got drove through like 6 times on the 14th. What the f is he thinking? That is the stupidest thing I've seen in my career. Literally.
Everything you described is accurate. Haven't even finished the second stage yet. Half the field's wrecked.
Hell yeah!
11 got it. Rowdy there, Matt. Good job, pal. Thanks, man. Good job all day.
Great work, my man. Great work.
Keep putting yourself in position, we'll win our share, right? We got one back today, brother. Good job.
10-4, great job, guys.
And welcome back to another week of Racing in the Draft. My name is Mark. Welcome back to my channel. And week 10 of the NASCAR schedule. Man, it is crazy. We are a quarter of the way through the 2021 season already. It's been an exciting year so far with 8 different winners. 1 two-time winner, Martin Truex. And yeah, I don't think that may be the craziest part of it all, is because only one of the final 4 contenders last year for the championship have won, being Joey Logano, and he won on Bristol dirt, which he's not known for being a dirt expert. So it's been kind of an unusual year to start the year, but we'll see what the next 3 quarters, or at least the next quarter, looks like. Other weird oddities is the defending champion, Chase Elliott, who won 5 times last year, has not won. Kevin Harvick, who did not make the Final 4, who won 9 races last year, is winless. And 7-time winner Denny Hammond, who's been Mr. Consistent so far this year, finishing 2nd and 3rd almost every race, and a 4-time winner last year, or 7-time winner last year, hasn't won. Also, Brad Keselowski, 4-time winner last year, has not won. Will we see another different winner and maybe potentially a first-time winner this week? There's a good chance. We're at Dega, baby. And anything is possible, that's for sure. So before we get into that, let's look at last week. As you can see from the comics by Bruno from Richmond's race last week, Alex Bowman ended up pulling off the surprise victory. Somebody who typically does not run well at Richmond ended up needing the late caution from Kevin Harvick blowing a rear tire, and zooming right on past Denny Hammond, Joey Logano, and Martin Truex, who pretty much had dominated the race for the first 380 laps. So congrats to Alex Bowman. All right, let's kind of take a look at our optimal lineups so far this year. The last time we were at what they call a super speedway or restrictor plate track up in the top left, only had one driver that was a dominator. The rest were mostly or all PD or point differential drivers, and that will be something that we'll be targeting again this week. And if you look on the upper right hand side, you'll see the optimal lineup for this past weekend's Richmond race, where we had 2 dominators and 4 PD guys to get us into optimal lineup range. And if you look down at the bottom right, you see that Martin Truex and Denny Hammond have made 5 of the 9 optimal lineups, and Joey Logano, Christopher Bell, Eric Jones, and Alex Bowman. Now, take all that, throw it out the window for this week, because you can pretty much put, I would say, almost all 40 drivers into a hat and pull them out. There are a couple guys that I would sway away from, even including the pole sitter Denny Hammond, who does great at super speedways, But for him to make optimal lineup, he would have to lead at least 80 laps and finish first, and that would still only give him 66 points. Now, it is possible to make the optimal lineup and finish first, but your chances of it are very risky. So let's take a look at why Talladega is such a interesting track. And wow, do they destroy a lot of cars. But let's get into our track description and take a look at our drivers this week. The Geico 500 at Talladega Motor Speedway, a 2.66 mile super speedway in Alabama. Track length, once again, 2.66 miles. 33 degrees in the banks, in the corners. Race length is only 188 laps. Dominator points this week will be 131.6. Laps led will get you 47, and fast laps of 84.6, giving you the total of 131.6. So we will not be going after Dominators per se. If you're lucky enough to have one, that will be ideal, but typically at super speedways we will be looking at cars coming from the rear to the front. Let's look at our DraftKings pricing for our drivers this week and where I have them lined up. Everybody will have a mixed bag on who they think will be the best to take for DraftKings this week. So, and it really is kind of a guessing game. There is some strategy, there is some data to back things up. We'll kind of go through that now. Our most expensive driver, Brad Keselowski, at $10,500, has raced 24 different times at Talladega. He finished 18th here last fall. He does have 5 wins and 7 top 5s, but in the last 5 races he has no top 5s, a 16.4 DraftKings average, 20.4 average finish, and will be starting 10th in Sunday's race, giving him a power ranking of 23 this week. Power rankings, these are just mine. They are based on data and facts, but there is a lot of luck this week, so take that into consideration. Next in line, Chase Elliott, $10,300, has raced here 10 times and will be starting 8th on Sunday. He finished 5th here in the fall. He does have 1 win and 4 top 5s out of his 10 starts. In his last 5, he does have that 1 win and 1 top 5. Other than that, he has an 18.3 DraftKings average and a 20.0 average finish. Power ranking of 14th this week. Ryan Blaney, 2-time winner in the last 5 races. 10,100. Has raced 13 times, finished 25th here in the fall. Once again, 2 wins, 2 top 5s. 35.2 DraftKings average, 14.2 average finish. A power ranking of 11th, mostly because of his starting position of 7th. Next in line, Denny Hammond, Mr. Super Speedway himself, $10,000, starting from the pole. Probably the worst spot to be starting from, because you have no place differential except for negative points unless you finish in first. 30 times he's raced here, has won twice, 9 top 5s, and finished first here in the fall. 9.6 average finish with a 44.0 DraftKings average and 4 top 5s out of his last 5 starts. Next in line, Joey Logano, Mr. Aggressive on super speedways. As you remember, Daytona, he probably was the cause of the last lap massive big one that ended up giving Michael Mcdowell his first Daytona 500 and first win in NASCAR. But back to Joey, he'll be starting second. Not much room there for PD upside except for 1 spot. He started here 24 times, has 3 wins, 8 top 5s, and finished 26th here in the fall. 37.4 DraftKings average, 12.6 average finish, power ranking of 8. Next in line, we go to Kevin Harvick with Stewart Haas Racing, who has continued to struggle this year. Hats off to Eric Almirola for finally having a decent finish last week at Richmond, but that is no cure for the worry, that's for sure. Kevin has started here 40 different times, only has 1 win and 7 top 5s out of those 40. He finished 20th here in the fall. 22.6 average finish and 11.6 DraftKings average. 24th on the power ranking. He does have a little bit of PD upside, starting 16th. Kyle Larson, 9,400. He's not started here 39 times. That is a misprint. I'm guessing he started here probably 11 or 12 times. But did not race here in the fall last year. 0 wins, 0 top 5s out of his starts. Here, I can look that up just real fast. So Kyle has raced here 12 times and has 2 top 10s and an average finish of 22.2 in those 12. So Mr. Larson does not perform very well at super speedways, but a lot of it does have to do with luck. Next in line, Kyle Busch, 9,200. Has started here 27 times. Has 6 top 5s, 1 win, and finished 27th here in the fall. He'll be starting here 15th, so it does give him some PD upside. And considering testing doesn't have a whole lot to do with how you perform at Talladega, Kyle may actually perform fairly well if he can stay out of the big one. He has a 22.8 average finish and a 13.5 DraftKings average, and putting him at 26th on the power ranking scale. These guys just typically get caught up in the big ones. They're aggressive drivers. They want to win. They want to be higher in the finishing order, which puts them in dangerous spots. Alex Bowman, 9,000, has started here 11 times, 0 top 10s, 0 wins, finished here 19th in the fall, has an 18.6 average finish, 13.4 DraftKings average, and is starting 5th. I've got him 36th on the power ranking. He is not known for his speedway racing, but he's also not known for doing well at Richmond, so this year's kind of been unusual. Martin Truex Jr., 8,900, 32 total starts here at Talladega, finished 9th here in the fall. He does have 1 top 10 out of his 32 total starts here. This will be somebody that I will sway away from. He does not typically do very well at super speedways. 23rd average finish and a 12.1 DraftKings average. 35th on the power ranking, mostly because of his starting position and not being known as a speedway racer. Eric Almirola, $8,700, starting 14th, has 22 total starts here, does have 1 win, 9 top 10s. He finished 37th here in the fall, has an average finish of 10.8, which is not bad. 33.0 DraftKings average, and in the last 5 races, he does have 4 top 10s and that 1 win. He does do pretty well at Talladega and Daytona. If he can just keep himself out of trouble, he may be somebody to take a look at. Power ranking of 20 this week. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., 8,500. 15 total starts here, 9 top 10s. He is more likely going to finish in the top 10 than not. But he finished 38th here in the fall. It's for Stenhouse, it's either checkers or wreckers. He's very aggressive, kind of like Joey, but does tend to keep his nose clean, at least through the big ones. 15.4 average finish and 30.3 DraftKings average, and in the last 5 he does have 2 top 10s. Kurt Busch, 8,300, has a total of 40 starts here and 21 top 10s. Finished 32nd here in the fall, has an average finish of 17.8 in the last 5. 24.6 DraftKings average and 2 top 10s in the last 5. 19th on the power ranking. Matt Benedetto, Matty D, 8,200, 12 total starts here. Typically does much better at Daytona than he does at Talladega. No top 10s, no wins. Finished 21st here in the fall, a 27.6 average finish and a 13.7 DraftKings average. Power ranking of 32. Probably won't have much of Mr. Matty D this week. William Byron, 8,000. Has started here 6 times, does have 1 top 10, will be starting 4th. He does have an average finish of 17.8 and a 25.4 DraftKings average. And with that 1 top 10, I don't particularly like William Byron a whole lot this week. 21st on the power ranking. Harrison Burton, his first Cup start, has no starts here. Does have 2 Xfinity starts, and his best is 23rd out of those 2 starts. He will be starting 39th, which is the only upside for taking Harrison. He is kind of pricey. This week we're not going to have to worry about pricing, though. You're going to be able to fit pretty much most anybody you want. In fact, most of the time you don't want to even come close to touching the 50,000. Most of the optimal lineups are in the lower 40s, 42, 43,000 range, because we're starting guys from the rear of the field that kind of hang back and miss the big ones. So Harrison could be somebody to take a look at. We just don't have a whole lot of stats for him. I've got a power ranking of 31 for Mr. Burton. Austin Dillon, 7,700, 15 total starts here, 3 top 10s, and finished 12th here in the fall. Starting 11th with an average finish of 17.6 doesn't make it real tempting to take. 23.7 DraftKings average, so power ranking of 22 this week for Mr. Dillon. Ryan Newman, 7,600, 38 total times starting here and 16 top 10s. He finished 6th here in the fall, 28th starting spot, so lots of PD upside, decent pricing. He does have a 12.6 average finish, 37.1 DraftKings average, and in the last 5 races here, he is 3 top 10s. Power ranking of 2nd. So this would be one of the first people I really kind of eye in at. He's got a lot of experience. He knows how to run well. He knows how to keep his nose clean and get to the finish with his car intact. Now, he has wrecked a couple times at the finish, but that's okay. He still finishes. And, oh yeah, by the way, the big ones that we were watching, none of those people were injured or hurt, at least in any real severe way. It's a real, which is really kind of amazing and shows you how well NASCAR takes safety into consideration. All right, back to it. Eric Jones, 7,500, 8 total starts here, 3 top 10s out of those 8. Finished 2nd here in the fall. He'll be starting 22nd, and since he has an average finish of 13.6, this will be somebody else we start taking a look at. 36.4 DraftKings average, 3 top 10s in the last 5, and a power ranking of 6. Christopher Bell, here we go. He's starting at too far up front. I like Chris a lot, but he does not perform very well at super speedways, and especially Talladega. 7,400, started here twice in the Cup cars, has a 34th place average finish, and only a 3.0 DraftKings average. Finished 11th here last fall. Next grouping, Michael Mcdowell, our Daytona 500 winner and last super speedway winner, has 20 total starts here and only 1 top 10, and finished 36th here in the fall. Starting 23rd and having a 27.8 average finish, 13.8 DraftKings average, and only 2 top 20s. 13th on the power ranking. He does have some PD upside, but doesn't typically perform as well at Talladega as he does Daytona. Bubba Wallace, $7,000, has 6 total starts here, no top 10s, finished 24th in the fall, starting 24th with an average finish of 27.8 and a 23.2 DraftKings average, putting him at 16th on the power ranking because he does have a little bit of PD upside. Cole Custer, 6,800, 2 starts here, no top 10s, finished 31st here in the fall, starting 27th with an average finish of 26.5, 12.9 DraftKings average, power ranking of 33rd. He's also driving for Stuart Haas, who has been struggling this year. Keep that in mind. Next in line, Chase Briscoe, 6,600. No starts here in Cup, but does have 4 Xfinity starts, 4 top 20s in those 4, and his best finish is 4th. He'll be starting 26th, so decent PD upside for Chase Briscoe. Because he doesn't have any starts here, we don't have any real data and facts on how well he will do. He does have a power ranking of 28th. This is somebody you can potentially target and look at, but buyer beware. Doesn't have any Cup starts here. Tyler Reddick, 6,500, 2 starts here, 1 top 10, finished 7th here in the fall. He'll be starting 20th, has a average finish of 13.5 and a 45.7 DraftKings average, with both finishes being in the top 20. Tyler's got a power ranking of 4. Our next grouping, Ryan Preece. This is my first value and first real big PD upside person we're going to look at, also including Ryan Newman. Has 4 starts here, 4 top 20s, finished 10th here in the fall, 52.2 DraftKings average and 11.5 average finish. Just reverse those two. Once again, 4 top 20s, 2 top 10s, and 1 top 5. Starting 29th, I will take a decent amount of Ryan Preece this week. But remember, anything's possible. Anything you get caught up in somebody else's mess, or they might be the one making the mess. So it's Dega. So don't take all of him, but definitely he may be the one to really watch this Sunday. Chris Buescher, 6,300, has 11 total starts here, 5 top 20s, starting 21st, has a 16.6 average finish, so some PD upside to him, 35.1 DraftKings average, and 3 of the last 5 races he's finished in the top 20, giving Chris Buescher a 10th on the power ranking. Daniel Suarez, 6,200, 8 total starts here, 5 top 20s, starting 19th. He's starting a little further up than I would like to see because his average finish here is 24.4. Doesn't give him a whole lot of PD upside potential, or at least based on data and facts. He does have an 18.6 DraftKings average, 29th on the power ranking this week. Next in line, Ross Chastain, the Watermelon Man, 6,100, 4 total starts here, 1 top 20, starting 18th, 20.7 average finish, and a 37.3 DraftKings average. Power ranking 17. Next in line, Justin Haley, who has won at Daytona on a super speedway before, 5,900. Now he did do that in a rain-shortened race. Has 2 total starts here, both of them finishing in the top 20. He finished 11th here in the fall, starting 34th. Lots of PD upside here. 21.5 average finish, 38.0 DraftKings average, giving him a power ranking of 18th. Somebody to keep an eye on. Next in line, Kaz Grala, 5,800. No starts here in Cup. 1 Xfinity start here where he finished 20th. Because of his upside on points differential, starting 38th, he's going to get a power ranking of 15th. Anytime you're starting that far back, you have no place really to go but up unless you just literally start the engine and it blows up on the starting grid, which has happened. Anthony Alfredo has no starts here, but in Xfinity has 2, both of them finishing in the top 15 with 6th and 12th. Anthony kind of scares me here, but the power ranking of 40th, that's just based on sheer data points and where he's starting. So put a little bit of Alfredo in your lineups maybe. Not 100% sold on it. Buyer beware again. Corey Lejoy, 5,600. 6 total starts here. 3 of them came in the top 20s. He's starting 26. He's got some PD upside here. He's got experience here. 18-point average finish. He's usually pretty smart at super speedways. Typically tries to keep his nose clean and get to the finish. 39.3 DraftKings average. 3 top 20s. Power ranking of 5. JJ Yaley, who actually is subbing in for Jennifer Jo Cobb, who NASCAR said shouldn't be running Cup Series at Talladega. They say that that decision wasn't made because of Richmond, but I'll let anybody speculate on that. My opinion was because of her actions that happened at Richmond. If you don't know what happened, go back and watch. She and another driver just kept wrecking each other. It was quite ugly. But JJ has raced at Talladega 13 times, has 4 top 20s, finished 36th in the fall, has an average finish of 36, starting 37th. Typically doesn't seem to keep his nose clean. 3.0 DraftKings average, 38th on the power ranking. Starting 37th though, you can only lose 3 spots. Don't love it, don't hate it. If you decide to take him, it's okay. I think they're better drivers to take, and we're not worried about salary this week as much. Josh Bilicki, 5,200. No Cup starts here, 3 Xfinity starts here, and as we can see, he has finished 28th, 33rd, and 18th, so it's only 1 top 20. Starting 36th. Once again, he's got room to move up, but he hasn't shown anything in Xfinity, and he's going to be in a Cup car. Buyer beware. Power ranking 34. Timmy Hill, 4,900. 5 total starts here, 1 top 20. Starting dead last. 24th place average finish. You have no place to go but up here on PD upside. 32.8 Draftkings average, 1 top 20, 7th on the power ranking. I'll definitely have some Tommy Hill this week. Joey Gase, 4,900, or it should be 4,800. Sorry about that, misprint. Has 1 start here, but does have 6 Xfinity starts here, so does have some experience. 3 top 20s. He has finished 5th best in one of those top 20 excursions, and his 1 start here. That's not right. Something's wrong there. Okay, but either way, starting 35th, he's going to have some PD upside. He's got some experience here, giving him a power ranking of 9th, and he's also racing the 28 car for a throwback scheme kind of to Davey Allison, who was from Alabama in the Register Me, which is for organ donation. So pretty neat to see the 28 car in the old Haviland colors this weekend. BJ Mccloud, 4,700, 1 start here in Cup, and 4 Xfinities, and 1 top 20 in the Xfinities. Starting 31st, I don't like his starting spot because he doesn't have the fastest and best equipment, and finished 31st here the last time he raced. So, 39th on the power ranking. But anything's possible. Quinn Hoff, 4,600, 2 total starts here. Does have 1 top 20 in 13th in the fall, 20.0 average finish, 35.5 Draftkings average, 1 top 20, 25th on the power ranking. Cody Ware, 4,500, 3 total Cup starts, 1 top 20, starting 33rd with an average finish of 28.3. Not typically in the best equipment, but who knows? Keep your nose clean and you might get some PD upside out of him. 13.2 average finish, or Draftkings average, 30th on the power grid. That wraps up our driver lineup. Let's kind of take a look at some of these optimal lineups from the past couple of years at Talladega. As you can see, this is why I like guys in the 30s and I don't like guys in the between 30 and 40th. So in the fall race, we had 3 guys that started 30th or worse, but in the spring race, we only had 1. We only had the pole sitter, or the winner, meeting optimal lineup in 1 race this go around, or in the spring race, none in the fall race. We had 13 cautions in the fall, 22 cars on the lead lap, 13 cars were deemed out of the race because due to crashes. And the average starting position was 27th, whereas in the spring race, where we had 5 less cautions, 2 more cars on the lead lap, and only 4 cars out due to crashes, you can see that the 1 person made the optimal lineup because of Dominator, Brian Blaney. He did have some PD upside, but he led 63 laps. And the starting position was 19.8. So it really all depends on whether the big one happens, which I don't remember the last time the big one didn't happen at Talladega. I mean, Mark Martin has won this race green flag to checkered flags with no cautions, and that was before they had stage racing. But that's only happened once that I know of. I'm also a big Mark Martin fan, so I remember watching that one. It may have happened another time, but typically there are cautions. They're definitely stage break cautions. They'll also have a competition caution, so that'll be 4, but those aren't due to wrecks. Typically we're going to see 2 or 3 wrecks. Typically one of those ends up being big. So in the fall race of 2019, 9 cautions, but 14 cars out due to crashes, so that definitely indicated there was a big one. Denny Hammond ended up starting dead last, finishing 3rd. Because he's so good at super speedways, definitely gives him a lot of reason to take him. I'm sure that he was owned by like 80%. But as we can see, 25.2 starting position here, 3 cars 30th or worse in the starting spot. And once again, now we're starting to see we need to pick the winner, because you'll see on this next one, the winner. So out of the last 6 races, the winner has made optimal lineup 5 times. But back to 2019, we had 9 cautions, 14 cars out, 6 cautions, 12 cars out due to crashes, Most of your big PD upsides are coming from the 20s. Here in the fall, we had 8 cautions, 1 car out due to the crash, 29 cars on the lead lap. Most of our PD upside came in the 20s and low 30s, and we did have the finishing position of first with Eric Almirola, making the optimal lineup here also. 6 cautions, 11 cars out due to crashes. Eric Almirola started 40th in that race, finishing 7th. Huge PD upside. Joey Logano won the race, leading 70 laps, which gave him Dominator points. So our average starting position was 17.3. So as we look at this, 17.3, 22.7, 23, 25, 19, and 27. So it really depends on how these guys do and how they are able to keep their noses clean. Once again, it literally is put a bunch of drivers in a hat, draw out. It's part of it. Like I said, there is a little bit of data sets that we can look at to see who runs well at Dega compared to Daytona and those types of things. But honestly, I think your best bet is somewhere in the mid-20s to low 30s. That's typically where your better drivers are, who have more experience and could work their way up to the front and keep their nose clean and be there at the end. It's also typically in the mid-teens is where the most action happens and most cars end up getting wrecked. So it's a coin toss. But I would try to stay away from guys that are starting in the single digits, as we can go back and look. One person or 2 people made optimal lineup, 7th and 9th place. One there in 4th place, he ended up winning the race. One, none, and none. So literally out of 6 races, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars out of 6 races that started 10th or better. So that's an indication. So, and the average starting spot seems to be in the mid to low 20s. Put all the names in a hat, draw them out. Good luck this week. If you like what you're seeing, like my content, make sure you like, subscribe, share it with your friends or anybody that you know that is doing Draftkings and might be interested in my content. As always, leave me some feedback. Would love to hear what your comments are. And good luck this week at Dega. And we'll see you next week. Have a great one.
Get a good deep breath. Get ready to roll here. Only about one thing tonight, getting the W's, so got to be around the end to do that. Get ready to roll tonight, boys. Let's go have some fun.
Don't get me any more fired up than I already am.
All the way to the checkered. You're fine. Nobody's got to run. Checker time, baby!
Hell yeah!
Proud of you there, Matt. Good job, pal. Thanks, man. Good job all day.
Great work, my man. Great work. Keep putting yourself in position. We'll win our share, right? We got one back today, brother. Good job.
Great job, guys. Excellent work, my man. Excellent work. Thank you.
Man, that's awesome. Set out with a goal, we got it here, bud. Thank you very much.
Really proud of you, man. Drove your butt off tonight. We had the fastest car here, bud.
Probably killed our deal there. Just feel like I gave one away.
Yeah, boys. Way to rebound. Great job.
Great job, bud. Really good job. Appreciate you hanging in there with us all weekend.
What a weekend. Good job. Thank you.